Hello folks, this is Solo speaking. You're listening to another video for Teamfight Tactics. This is footage taken from a game that I did with Antisocial Monkey, and this is a look at the newest patch that came out for Teamfight Tactics. This is the first full patch of set 11, and we're going to be seeing that it is a reroll world out there. Nothing but reroll, reroll, reroll out there. Alright, more on that as the game goes along. First of all, though, we have an encounter right from the outset. We do not get a normal starting carousel. Instead, we have this one, Yorick. You are always able to field 10 units, regardless of level, and everybody gains an additional 10 gold as well. I have gotten this encounter before at the start of the game. I definitely don't like this one because it makes the early game just play out in such a bizarre fashion. It means that you, as I said, you can play 7 units at a time. So leveling really does absolutely nothing early on in the game. There is no point to leveling other than the only thing it does is it affects shop odds. It does not do anything to affect the actual number of units you can play on the board. So it feels very weird, to say the least. All right, I'm going to go ahead and send this Cho'Gath over to Antisocial Monkey, who, as you might expect, is playing his standard team composition, which is Cogmaw Reroll. He's going to be looking to play that. Meanwhile, I am going to just buy up all the units I have on the board here. And we were thinking about this, and we were kind of like, do I want to play Bard Reroll? Because we kind of had the pieces to do it. Now, this is something that I've already done multiple videos featuring, so I hate to have to feature it again. But this was the best game that I was able to get footage of. I'm hoping to play some more games and get some more footage. And the fact that we had this Yorick encounter to start the game really made things very, very weird. So yeah, here I am, filling up my board with all these units. I actually probably wanted to sell the Volibear, but I didn't manage to do that in time. So it stays on the board. I was hoping to get up to 10 gold here. I do not get up to 10 gold. So economically, it's a little bit of a weak start because, well, as you can imagine, because I had to play all these units, it meant that my opener was a little less gold intensive than normal. So normally you would say, oh, cool, maybe you level to level 4 here, but no, there's no purpose in doing that. All that it affects is shop odds, does not affect anything else. So there's no reason to put any experience into leveling at all in the early game. You should just try to get up to 50 gold as soon as possible. All right, well, I did get the Tahm Kench over there. I already have Bard on my board, so I can start trying to build some items here. Unfortunately, these items are not amazing for a potential Bard, since I've already done a bunch of videos on Bard Reroll. We already know what the items are. Ideally, they're double Rage Blade plus a Gun Blade, so you would need a whole bunch of bows to make that happen. 2 bows, a sword, and 3 rods. I didn't get any rods at the start, which is a little unfortunate, but I did get a bow, and I was able to make an item that's going to be pretty good on Tahm Kench and the Gargoyle Stoneplate. Now, Gargoyles, again, not my favorite tank item, but if you're going to be playing a super tank, which is what I'm trying to do with the Tahm Kench, then it's going to be a pretty good item to put on him. Again, everybody's board has 7 units on it, so it's really wonky in terms of what we have here. Very, very weird. And I'm going to end up losing this round, but it's almost impossible to predict how these fights are going to play out because there's just so much randomness in terms of who has what on their board at this point in time. All right, then I end up hitting double 2-star frontliners, so I was like, okay, I do want to play Bruiser trait, but let's go ahead and get these in here. Got to be better than something. And then I was going to play some Heavenly units, but then I think I end up selling the Kianas to get to 11 gold here, I think. Also worthwhile checking Exalted. You can, with the ability to play so many units on the board, it's very easy to get Exalted on your team composition. And that can be really useful because then you're getting 1 bonus XP every single round from Exalted trait. I believe that's what I did when I played this opener the previous time, but I didn't see a good way to get Exalted in this particular time. In particular, hitting the Garen 2-star and the Jax 2-star means I really do want to play these units, but then that kind of crowds out the opportunity to play other units. Even with 7, you can only play so many units. Plus, I really want the Mythic bonus in for Tahm Kench and Bard. I want to get that stacking up early. I've randomly hit a 2-star Cogmaw, so I want to play that. Cog is actually my main offense at the moment. I'm not going to be playing that unit long term. That unit's going to go over to Antisocial Monkey as soon as the Champion Send cools down. So just like this opening game is so frantic and it's so difficult to understand what's going on because there's like so many moving pieces. It gets incredibly chaotic. All right. Now, right there, you notice I leveled to level 4, but again, like what happens? Nothing. Nothing happens by going to level 4. The only thing that happens is the shop odds are affected. So it just, like, this opener just feels so weird. I don't really know what else to say. It's a weird feeling for the opening game when you have an opener like this. So I can't say that I particularly like it very much as opposed to just doing the standard opener. Because in the standard opener, you have to be thinking about things like, okay, do I want to level here in order to make my board stronger? Like, do I stay at level 3 or do I level to level 4 to get more traits in play, make my board stronger, get those better shop odds in? Do I want to try to push tempo and do like an early level to level 5 or level 6? That doesn't happen that often, but occasionally it can be useful to do that. It's just here, all those decisions are taken out of the picture. There's absolutely no reason to put any money into leveling here at the start of the game. It's pointless. So you just sit and go to level, just sit and I guess get to 50 gold, and then you can look to level after that. I mean, I guess you could theoretically play less than the 7 units to generate even more gold, so I guess that's a decision you could make. It's like play less than the full number of units on your board to generate more econ, but I mean, that's where it starts to get a little bit silly, or at least I've always felt that way. All right, so carousel here, I'm second pick. The bows and the rods are already gone. I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm second pick. I can't get a bow or a rod here. In particular, I really wanted a rod so I can make Rage Blade for Bard. But as usual, my carousel luck continues. I'm not able to get that. So I'm going to end up taking this sword largely because it just gives me another Tom Kench. So anytime you're trying to 3-star these units, it can be useful to take some of these units just so you can get them off carousel. Or take them off carousel just so you can get more progress towards 3-starring them. Anyway, I have the champion send back, so I'm going to send that Cogmaw over to Antisocial Monkey, and that's why I had the Nico on my bench, so I can slot Nico in, and then Nico is going to give me maintain mythic trait. Now, unfortunately, I do lose the sniper trait as soon as that happens, so that's not as great. So now I just have this random Kate on my board, and I'm going to put AD items on her because I don't have an AD item user at the moment. So I do not have any of Kate's traits in. I do not have sniper trait in. And I do not have ghostly trait in either. But I've got all these, what is it? I had 2 swords and a glove. I wanted to make some use of these. You could also say hold the sword to make a gunblade. Well, I still might do that. But the first rod that I get will definitely be for a Rage Blade on Bard. So I might as well put these items on Kate, who's going to get sold. She's not going to be part of this team competition later on. I might as well put these on so that I'm getting some value out of them. And in fact, Kate's ult critted there, and she actually did the most damage of the entire team just because I gave her the Infinity Edge and the sword. Anyway, though, I will continue stacking up these. I'll put the Cog. I actually should probably play the Cog over the Nico here to put Sniper trait back in play. Like, I don't need Nico for, what? She's not giving me any of her other traits, only Mythic. So I should actually put the Cog back in to get Sniper trait back again. But I'm, of course, holding these items, or excuse me, holding these champions to send over to Antisocial Monkey. Hitting the 2-star Tom Kench did make a real difference for my board, though. Having 2-star Tom as opposed to 1-star Tom actually is a pretty big difference. He does have both of his traits in play. He has Mythic trait in for the extra health, and then he also has Bruiser trait in for the extra health as well. So I'm going to be building around that unit. And in fact, we've already got another Tom Kench over there on Antisocial Monkey's board. It's kind of interesting because we did this before in another game that I put on YouTube, and then some additional games that have not gone on YouTube, but that we've played in the double up mode. You can actually have one person reroll for Cogmaw and then another person play a reroll for Bard, even though they're both mythic units and their units overlap to some extent. They actually don't overlap that much. So you really can play both of these reroll compositions that both build out of mythic units, even though you would think that they'd be competing for the same units. It doesn't quite happen. All right, so again, normally you'd look to level 5, but there's no point in doing that. I'm going to stay here at level 4 until I'm forced to go to level 5, or at least up until I get up to 50 gold, because there's absolutely no point in leveling until I have 50 gold. I just want to get that econ going. My economy's not been great, but that's partly because I've been hitting a lot of units. Remember, I have the 2-star Tom Kench, and although I did get one of them coming over from Antisocial Monkey. By the way, there's a rod, thank goodness, so I can make Rage Blade. Although I did get the Tom Kench coming over from ASM, I did also find 2 of them myself, so like that's 6 gold there. 2-star Jax, 2-star Garen, that's more gold there. And there's another Tom Kench as well. So like, I'm definitely hitting some of these units, which is good, but the trade-off is it is costing me some econ. And then I'm going to play the Alawi over the Jax, even though it is replacing a 2-star with a 1-star. I still think that that's better because it's going to put Ghostly trait in play. It's going to maintain Warden trait. It also puts Arcanist trait in play with the Nico as well. So that doesn't have a huge effect, but Arcanist 2 gives 20 AP to the whole lob, to your entire team. With 7 units on the board, that's a little more impactful than it would be if I had like 4 units on the board. Again, I'm only level 4 here, but I still get to play the 7 units. So definitely getting a few more trait synergies in play. Bard having the Rage Blade definitely helps. That's going to allow him to stack up attack speed over the course of the fight. I've been a little more geared towards frontline than backline thus far. So anything that's like a ramping or stacking thing is actually pretty good for me to have. Anyway, this person looks like they're going to try to play into Heavenly Yone, and I'll have more to say about that as the game goes on. But for the moment, they just have Yone 1-star, which is not especially strong. And my front line holds up. And we're looking good here. Now on a little modest 3-match winning streak. Or 3-round winning streak, I could say. Anyway, time for our second augment. The first one I took was the champion duplicators. Because I'm rerolling here, I definitely want to use the cheap champion duplicators. This will make it easier to hit Bard 3-star and Tom Kench 3-star. I've already got one on my bench. I'm about to get the second one. For the second augment, I had to think this over. I did think about 3's a crowd because I am going to be playing some 3-cost units, but then I was like, actually I think I can take the Bruiser Crest, and if I take that, I think it'll be easy to play 4 Bruisers. I think I can actually play 4 Bruisers pretty easily with this, and I think that that's going to end up being a little bit better. All right, so then I also see that I have the opportunity, if I could take out the Kate. Kate's not really doing anything. Remember, she doesn't have Sniper trait in play. I can put these items on Sivir instead. I'll put the Bruiser emblem on Garen because he's a 2-star unit. And this also puts Storyweaver trait in as well. I don't know if I'm going to want to run Storyweaver trait long term, but it's certainly not bad. I'm also on, I'm on 5 Tom Kenches, and I have the Duplicator, and Antisocial Monkey has a 2-star Tom Kench on his board, so he's going to send that over to me, and then I can actually use my Duplicator, and then I just instantly have 3-star Tom Kench, just like that. And we were like, that seems worthwhile to do. This is kind of a tempo play. In other words, trying to put pressure on the lobby by being strong early on. Like, if I have a very, very early 3-star Tom Kench, that should be enough to win streak for a little bit, and then we'll be able to do more damage to the rest of the lobby while we're looking for the bards. Remember, I still only have 1 bard. Still only have the 1 bard, which I saw in the very first round of the game, popping out of the minion stage. Have not seen a single one since then. All right, and then more random nonsense. Kayn is going to temporarily give us a Deathblade and a Death Cap. I probably should put both of these on Bard because he has attack speed, and he actually does a mixture of physical and magic damage. I think I ended up putting first I'm going to send the Cho'Gath over to ASM, and now I'm on 2 out of 3 cogs. Then we'll duplicate the Tom, and boom, there we go. Tom Kench 3-star on 3-3. Pretty early to have that, so we're definitely high rolling a bit in terms of finding Toms. Now, if I could just find some Bards here as well. But anyway, yeah, I probably should have just put both of these items on Bard because he's got the attack speed, he's got the mythic bonus. I believe I put the Death Cap on him, but I think I put the Death Blade on Sivir, who, granted, Sivir deals physical damage, but she's a 1-star unit, and yeah, not really that helpful of a unit. But anyway, yeah, now I've got 3-star Tom Kench this early in the game. Tom Kench did get nerfed a little bit in the first patch. We are on the first patch of set 11, not the release version, the first full patch to come out. And Tom Kench definitely did get nerfed a little bit with some of the stuff that they put in place. They also nerfed Bard as well, which is why Bard is not getting played by everyone in the lobby like he was before. But yeah, so we're also getting pretty close to the 3-star Cogmaul over on Antisocial Monkey's board. I have 2 out of 3 cogs, and then I believe he's on 5 of them. So I think we're on 8, or I think we're on 7 or 8 combined. He's also on 8 Malphites. That's one unit I haven't sent him, but the good news is he has been finding them himself. All right, time to pick on the carousel again, and unfortunately, I'm not able to get a rod once again, although on the plus side, I am able to get a bow. So I was like, all right, well, if I can't get a rod, I will take a bow because I'm going to need more attack speed for Bard. So that's something anyway. And on we go. We're both on win streaks, which is very nice. Once again, I'll level here. Gonna dump that extra gold into leveling. Oh, and it's also a gift round here. So I look for an emblem, and there we go. I actually do manage to get a rod from the component anvil, so that's good. Now, I have the choice of making a second rage blade or making a gun blade. I actually want to make the gun blade here. Unfortunately, now I put that sword on Sivir, so it's on the wrong unit. But it's more important to make a gun blade for Bard than it is to make a second rage blade. 2 rage blades is good, but 1 rage blade plus gun blade is better. I can always make something else with that bow if I have to. I could do red buff if I have to. I could do like Giant Slayer. Given how many people are rerolling for 3 stars, Giant Slayer actually has a lot of value in this lobby. Whenever people are rerolling for 3 stars, it means 3-star units always have a lot of health. So Giant Slayer is always really good when people are rerolling for 3-star units. All right, so this person's playing Kaisa back there. Okay. Unfortunately, Bard just gets jumped on like instantly in this fight. So now it's going to be up to this little 1-star Sivir to have to try to carry this fight. And I don't know if she's up to that. Yeah, Kha'Zix kind of came over and popped her with 1 hit. So yeah, I don't think so. Looks like this person's trying to play Heavenly plus Reaper, which is also pretty popular right now. So my win streak is going to come to an end, unfortunately. I think maybe if the Bard had been on the right-hand side, I might have been able to win that instead of getting popped super fast early in the fight. But you're not going to win them all, and we're certainly in pretty good shape here in this lobby. Time for another gift round. Antisocial Monkey has some pretty unappealing options here. He doesn't really want a 4-cost champ because he's re-rolling for a 1-cost unit. So I'm going to go ahead and just send him the Thief's Glove. Anyway, so now I do want to make this Gunblade. I actually want to put this on Bard, but I can't because all his item slots are tied up thanks to that stupid death cap from that event that we had earlier. So you saw I actually could have made Sivir 2-star, but instead I opted to sell a Sivir and buy another one and be at 2 out of 3. So it gets the sword off Sivir so I can make that Gunblade. Anyway, time for the next round here. And oof, this is a little bit unfortunate. One person just hit Zyra 3-star. Another person is re-rolling for... this person is playing the Senna reroll comp, which, by the way, I'm still trying to showcase in a video. I haven't been able to get footage to showcase this in a video yet, but I'm trying to. Hopefully, I'll find that. Anyway, this person's rerolling for Senna. This comp is a Ghostly plus Senna reroll board. Was strong in the last patch. It's strong in this patch, too. They actually buffed all the Ink Shadow stuff in this patch. So my board is not bad, but you saw the Tahm Kench just got melted instantly against this board, which I believe already has 6 Ghostly. And or they either have 4 Ghostly or 6 Ghostly and something like that. But yeah, they're playing Senna reroll, and that's pretty strong as well. So in any case, I did manage to go on a nice win streak, but then lost the last 2 rounds. And Antisocial Monkey having a little bit better luck there, still on the full win streak. And I believe, did he hit the cog? He has 1 off cog. He's on 8 cogs now, but he hit the Cho'Gath and he hit the Malphite. So he told me to go ahead and sell one of the cogs because he's at 8 out of 9. There's no reason for me to hold 2 Cogmalls on my bench. So if the Sen comes back again, I can use it to hit that. Okay, time for more items here. Going to get some more frontline stuff, so that's pretty good. I can also go ahead and make 2-star Sivir. Now, Sivir is holding items for Kaisa later on in the game. Kaisa ended up getting buffed in this patch. And by the way, there is the 3-star Cogmall for Antisocial Monkey, so he managed to hit that. I'm going to go ahead and... by the way, now I'm going to move into the 4 Bruiser. So we're going to go ahead and do this. I'm going to put the Soraka on the board. That's going to make Altruist and Heavenly traits. And I will put the Bruiser emblem on Nico, who I know is likely to stay on this board. And now I'm finally level 7. So now I can look to reroll here. I can now put the Gunblade on Bard. And I'm going to go ahead and make a Sunfire on Tahm Kench. Now, I thought about putting the... vest that I have here on Tahm Kench, but I ultimately decided I would hold off and just decide, see what item I wanted to make for Tom's last slot before I put any more items on him. And by the way, Tahm Kench, very, very, very tanky right now. You can see how long he is tanking this enemy Fated team. He's tanked for a full 30 seconds against this team, but unfortunately my damage output is a little low at the moment. The fact that I only have Bard 1-star is definitely hurting me. I think if I have Bard 2-star, I win that fight pretty easily. Also, Sivir having all my items is not great. Not great. I don't really want that. I believe I end up taking you off my bow here. I really should have taken that Inspiring Epitaph. I think that would have been really good to stack up Tom with like infinite shields. In retrospect, I probably should have taken that other option. Well, in any case, I did take the bow because attack speed is always good on Bard. So I do need attack speed for Bard, so that's not a waste by any means. And now I'm just rolling for more Bards. I still just have the one. There's a Bard. That's good. And Silas is definitely going to be better than the Aatrox, so I don't need that, and so I can stop here. I also do have the send back, so I was trying to ask Antisocial Monkey if he wanted me to buy this Lilia and send it to him, and I believe he does want me to send it to him, if I remember correctly, as he's now finally level 7 as well. So anyway, he does have a Bard over there, but he was trying to hold the champion send to see if he could send a Bard 2-star my way. Still, the fact that I only have Bard 1-star is definitely hurting me in these fights. So I ended up taking the augment that gives me extra attack speed, and I don't think that that's bad because I am an attack speed focused board here. Like, I do need attack speed for Bard, but I wonder if that epitaph thing that stacks up shielding when units die, if that would have just allowed Tahm Kench to become infinitely shieldy. Not really a word, but you get the point. All right, that person has Yone. They're actually on 8 Yones already, so they're going to be very strong when they hit Yone 3-star. Yone's emerged, and by the way, here I do hit Bard 2-star, thank goodness. Yone has emerged as the problematic unit in this patch. I'd say the odds are like 50-50 that Yone is going to get a hotfix nerf. Now that I do have the 2-star Bard, hopefully I can start winning some of these rounds, because I feel like my front line is very tanky. Tahm Kench is staying alive for like 20 seconds, 25 seconds, 30 seconds in every fight. But I just wasn't dealing damage to kill things fast enough because Bard was only 1-star. And then I've got, a Sivir with a Infinity Edge. I should also probably have Sivir standing next to Bard because she does give attack speed to the unit standing next to her when she uses her ability. I was aware of that, but I also didn't want to have all my damage right next to each other because it makes it a little bit easier for them to get crowd control. But given how little Sivir is doing, she probably should be next to Bard anyway. All right, this fight looks like it's going a little bit better, and it does look like hitting the 2-star Bard has made a bit of a difference. Bard having the Rage Blade plus Gunblade is stacked up. Do we have enough to get to this Zoe? I mean, this person's playing through a 2-star Zoe over there, not exactly a traditional carry here in set 11. And does Bard have enough? It looks like he barely does with help from Kog'Maw coming over. So at least I am able to get out from that little losing streak that I was under. It was a 4-match losing streak, not ideal. All right, and then the game decides to throw this curveball to us. Wukong adds a Radiant item to each champion on this carousel. We're like, what the? We're last pick and everyone gets a Radiant item? What the heck? So this is not cool. This is like legitimately not cool to have this thrown out at us. This is very unfair that all of a sudden the most important carousel in the game is like this random one. But thankfully, I'm able to get the Radiant, Dragon's Claw, which is a perfect fit for Tahm Kench's last item. And then Antisocial Monkey is able to get the Radiant Ionic Spark, which is like the best possible item he could get for his comp. So we don't end up getting punished here. Thankfully, this could have been so much worse. Thankfully, we are both able to get items that are really good for us. But imagine if I had placed that Chain Vest on Tahm Kench before. I might have done that. I just held off on doing it because I was trying to wait to see what the last item I could find was. If I had done that, I would not have been able to put a Radiant item on Tahm Kench, and we would have just lost the game right there. This is the problem with the encounters, that you have stuff like this happen. There is no way to predict that this is happening, and if I just randomly put a component on the Tahm Kench, I can't fit a Radiant item on him, and the game, we just lose the game off that because everyone else is going to have Radiant items on their key units, and my most important unit, and yes, Tahm is significantly more important than Bard right now, my most important unit would not have a Radiant item. This is just the kind of random nonsense that is so frustrating because you can just win or lose the game based on things that you have no knowledge of and no control over. So yeah, Bard dies, but Tahm Kench is still alive, eating people. The Tahm is now really unkillable now that he has the Radiant Dragon's Claw, because now he regens health based off of that. He gains additional max health. The one thing he was kind of missing is magic resistance. He already had a lot of armor from the Sunfire Cape, so he kind of got the one stat he needed, and yeah, it was just an absolutely perfect fit. But it's just insane to have so much of the gameplay being swung by completely random stuff that's out of your control. I do not like this, Sam. I do not like this. Not cool. just really not cool when stuff like this happens, because it might have worked out in this game and that's why you're seeing it on YouTube, but there's other games where it didn't work out and that's why you don't see some of those games. It's so tilting to lose a game over something that you had absolutely no control over whatsoever. All right, anyway, I was able to replace the Silas with a Galio. That is the unit that I was hoping to find. Galio maintains the 4 Bruiser, and it also puts Storyweaver trait back in place again. Now, long-term, I'm going to drop the Sivir. I am really hoping I can find Kaisa. I've been making Kaisa items to put on and putting them on Sivir, but I can always drop Storyweaver at that point. Kale has the supportive ability. I have the thing that causes Kale to shred armor and magic resistance, which again is good because I don't currently have anything on my team that is an armor or MR shred, so Kale actually will help out a fair bit. And I'm highlighting how Tom Kench blocked like infinite damage in that fight. Anyway, I have not had great luck finding Bard, which is kind of surprising because no one else is playing Bard in this lobby, and this is just an absolute reroll fiesta. Everyone is rerolling for 1, 2, and 3 cost units. Like I'm going through the list right now, and you're seeing. Someone has a 3-star. So people are going for 3-star Yone. People are going for 3-star Soraka. People are going for 3-star. But by the way, a Bard pops out there. That's nice. People are going for 3-star. Someone has a 3-star Nico. Someone has a 3-star Zyra over there. Someone has 3-star Senna. Someone has 3-star Shen. Someone has 3-star Jax. Someone's going for 3-star Aatrox. Like, it's all 2 and 3 cost units. Everybody's going for these units like crazy. So I'm just hoping to find the Bards. There's a lot of 3 costs out of the pool. And yes, I did get a Lysandra there, which is pretty interesting. I will hold on to that. I could play her on level 8 and get Arcanist trait in play, which would again be 20 AP for the whole board. So that's not so bad. I picked up the Lilia because that could potentially go over to Antisocial Monkey. And then I did pick up the Silas, which I actually do not need, but I'm still trying to get additional items to put on my units here. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and make I was hoping for another rod so I could make a second Rage Blade on Bard. I don't have that, so I will make red buff instead. And then out of these other items here, I'll go ahead and take the sword because this can go on a future Kaisa. And I believe I actually rolled past a Kaisa. I know I rolled past one at some point in time in this game. So yeah, again, Tom Kench continues to be unbelievably tanky, but my damage output is just still not that great. Bard is doing his best, but he's only 2-star, not 3-star. Kind of needs to be 3-star if he's going to be a main damage dealer at this point. Now, I'm not that far off. I have 6. I also have the Duplicator, and Antisocial Monkey has some Bards over on his board as well. So we're not that far off. And in fact, there it is. It just comes on over there. And he's going to go ahead and provide that to me. And then I also get some more tank items. So, that was the gift round and double up. I took the components. So yes, I'll take those. I was able to make a Giant Slayer for last item there. I'll put Lysandra on the board. That'll put, like I said, Arcanist trait in play. And if we're going to itemize another tank, it might as well be the Galio. So we'll go ahead and do this. By the way, I realized in retrospect that I had this Nico on the board. I could have potentially replaced Nico with like Nautilus, but then again, Nico is giving me all of her traits. So even though she's a trait bot, she's probably still the correct unit to play. She is giving me Mythic trait for Bard and Kog'Maw. She's also giving me, Heavenly trait, so we get some additional stats with the Soraka in there. And then she also does give me Arcanist trait as well. So I guess she was the right unit to play. So she actually has all of her traits in play, and then she has Bruiser trait as well. It's a little unfortunate I've only found the one Nico the entire game. Now, someone was re-rolling from Nico and had Nico 3-star. That's why I haven't been able to find Nico. But she's actually not that important. It would be nice to 2-star her, but she's not that important. She's basically just a trait bot. All right, time for the second gift round in double up mode, and this is the one that's going over to Antisocial Monkey. I see that there's a Tactician's Crown available, and I just opt to take this because even though this is going to kill my economy, we just want Antisocial Monkey's board to be stronger. I think my board is already more or less as capped out as it's going to be, so it doesn't really hurt me that much to do this. Like I said, I don't think my board can get that much stronger. Like, I could level and play just like some random legendary unit on level 9, but I could toss in Wukong, and that would be nice. Like, that would be pretty helpful there. But there's not really that much that my board can do to get stronger, whereas his board, I think, actually can get a good bit stronger. Right now, he's trying to find a Hui, because if he can find Hui, he can have Hui paint more Caitlyn's. He's actually on 7 Caitlyn's, and finding Hui to paint 2 more Caitlyn's would be really, really nice. Plus, Hui would be also a good unit to play. If he can find Hui, he can probably play 7 Mythic. All right, now this person's playing Yone, and Yone really has emerged as one of those super strong units in this patch. As I said, debatable is whether this unit's going to get hotfix nerfed. This person didn't fully itemize their Yone, though, so even though it was 3-starred, we actually ended up handling it pretty effectively in this game. And hey, Lysandra actually prints me another component. So as soon as I got the Bard 3-star with the Tom 3-star, it definitely did make a big difference. And looks like my board's in a reasonably strong position right now. I do have very good itemization on these units. Okay, now I really want the Kaisa with the Altruist emblem. That would allow me to make three Altruist, which would be very nice. Just give my entire team more armor and magic resistance. And it would allow me to dump the stupid Sivir for... what do you call it? For Kaisa, who's a vastly better unit. That is not a possibility, so that's unfortunate there. And I don't really like any of these other options, so I was like, well, I guess I'm getting a Rage Blade then. Kind of a disappointing carousel, but I wasn't able to get what I wanted. Storyweaver would be nice because then I could dump, I could maintain Storyweaver trait after ditching the Sivir. Because like right here, I'm 100% going to make this substitution. But I do lose Storyweaver trait, so it would have been nice to get that emblem. I would have been able to maintain Sivir. Still, I'm able to do this swap here. This works pretty well. I've got Kaisa with good Kaisa items. That also preserves Trick Shot trait for the Bard over there. And I can put the Spear of Sojin on Lysandra, which I'm quite happy to do. And we'll just continue putting items on the... Our tank items can go on Galio. Galio's not hugely important for this board, but better he have tank items than not have tank items, right? I might as well. And now Lysandra has a Spear of Shojin, so maybe she can get some casts off, put some enemies in tea kettles, and print some more items, maybe. I'm not expecting a lot from her, but anything she can do. She has already printed me 2 items, I think. So now I want to try to get the Kaisa 2-starred. I have 2 out of 3 Kaisas, and 2-starring Galio would be nice as well. And I don't want to try to get to level 9 until I can try to 2-star at least the Kaisa. And it doesn't look like I have a lot of money. By the way, it doesn't look like I'm going to make it to level 9 this game because the rest of the lobby is basically dying in terms of health. There's not a lot out there at the moment in terms of what other people have. Alrighty, so yeah, I'm still playing through the Tom Kench and through the Bard. And over there, okay, I'm just checking other people's boards, trying to see who I'm going to be up against. One of these boards has 3-star Amumu, which looks pretty strong. And then someone else has just hit the 2-star Galio, so that's great. It's going to be harder to hit that unit with more of the Galios coming out of the pool. And then by the way, I had this send back. I kept trying to figure out if I was going to send this Lilia to Antisocial Monkey. He was not 100% sure if I should send it as well. Again, the unit I really wanted to send him was Hui, but I haven't found a Hui yet, and he hasn't found one yet either. So I think we were just trying to make sure that we could use these resources, if nothing else. Anyway, Tom Kench continues to just not really take damage. He's been incredible the entire game. It's been my offense that's been more of the problem. It's never really been the Tom in terms of being able to tank for me. And I actually think I would have won that round if I hadn't been reinforced on. I don't think that Ashe would have been enough to carry that. So I do end up losing that round. And by the way, here you see Yone 3-star winning that round. Amusingly, every single team in the lobby is on 1 HP except for us. They're 1, 1, and 1. Very odd when that happens. It can happen occasionally as someone hits a Lowy 3-star over there. So that person's going to be stronger. So somebody has to get knocked out next round. There's no way all 3 teams that we're up against can all be on 1 hit point. One of them has to get knocked out. And in fact, I think the math works out that 2 of them are likely to get knocked out. There's probably some combination of ways that only 1 team can get knocked out. But and by the way, now I get more Toms and more Bards now that I've hit the 3-stars. Thanks. Technically, I still have this cheap champion duplicator on my bench, so if I could hit, and by the way, Kaisa 2-star is going to be pretty nice. If I could actually hit some more Sorakas, I'm very close to hitting the Soraka. Also on 2 out of 3 Lysandra, so it's a bit of a shame that it's not a real champion duplicator instead of the cheap one that can only be used on inexpensive champs. Anyway, there's a set, so that's also a possibility that could go over to ASM's board, but ultimately we don't go for that one either. I really would like to find this Galio if possible, or more Sorakas. Again, I think someone is close to Soraka 3-star out there. For the moment, though, I'll just go ahead and put this on Lysandra because we'd really like to get more items, so she can put people in the little tea kettle. And allow us to blow them up, then that's probably the best thing that can help my board here. Unfortunately, this board seems to be absolutely tearing through me right now. They have 2-star Aurelia back there. I guess that they're just playing like a legendary board. Unfortunately, Aurelia, punched through and killed the back line, so wasn't enough. Yeah, I see 2-star Rakan, 2-star Aurelia. They seem to have a lot of 2-star 5 costs back there, but they also only have 1 HP, so I think that they actually get knocked out here because their partner died. Yeah, they're actually out of the lobby because their partner died, and just like that, we're down to one other opponent. So yeah, all right. What is this? We have another encounter here. What's this one? Did it even say what the encounter is? Okay. Benching units causes their items to pop off. Well, that would have been more relevant earlier in the game. It's not really relevant now because we're hoping that this will be the last round of the game here. And I'm just going to keep rolling. I'm still looking for that last Lysandra. Not quite able to find that. Or a way to send over to Antisocial Monkey. Instead, I'm going to have the Yone board. And this is the way people are playing Yone right now. 5 Heavenly. So Vertical Heavenly plus 4 Reaper. And they have 3-star Yone with double Titans and then a Hand of Justice. So I was like, I don't know that I do very well against this board. I'm just going to try to put Bard as far away from the Yone as possible. It's really the only unit that's meaningful on this other team over there. Oh, and they have 3-star Nico. I guess that's why I can't see the Nikos. But watch, Yone's actually going to get knocked up right there. And then he gets tossed in the tea kettle by Lysandra. And then shortly after that, he just dies. So he actually never got his ult off at all, which is great because Yone, if he gets his ult off, just he runs in the back line and everything dies in 2 seconds. And there's nothing you can do about it. But in this fight, we're the ones CCing Yone, and yeah, he never gets to do anything. That Lysandra CC for the win, so we just kill the Yone, and that's that. We're able to win the round pretty easily, and then we can get over here and I don't know what 3-star unit that is. I think that's a 3-star Thresh or something. I'm not exactly sure. I couldn't tell what that was under that. But yeah, I'm able to go over to ASM's board. We win that round as well, and that's that. Preserving HP for the win. Some of those teams that were on 1 HP were really strong, but they were on 1 HP. So once that gives up all your margin for error when that happens, and they all got knocked out very fast once they were on 1 HP. Anyway, so I don't really know what to make of this game. Look at the ridiculous reroll state of this lobby. Every single team is rerolling like to an absurd degree. There are so many 3-stars in this game, it's ridiculous. I really don't like the pacing of this set right now. The balance just feels wildly off. The 4 costs barely even get played right now. It's all rerolling for 2 costs, 3 costs, and then trying to get legendary 5 costs on the board. But like, this is a very, very weird set. It does not feel like or play like other sets, and I can't say that I like it. Really have not enjoying the encounters. So, bit of a mixed bag here. I wish I could be more positive, but I just don't think this is a well-designed set, unfortunately. So, it is what it is. In any case, though, I hope you still enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Until next time, have a great week, folks. Take care, and I'll see you again soon.